Senor Ortiz, we are
Hey,
live. Are you ready to kick this thing off, brother?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, what do you do, KTTV? This is KT, and I'm coming at you live with another episode of the Administrators Podcast. Once again, I am KT with my co-host
JoJo, baby.
Hey. Look, y'all. I do not advertise any companies. I do not do any promotion. But tonight, I had to pull out the medals because I also want to get some footage of me with JoJo tonight as we go through the podcast. So if you see me hit the button, turn the light on, just know I'm getting content all the way around. Now, as we jump into it, thank everybody for getting ready to pull up on us. Even for the people who will catch this later tonight, it's gonna be an epic night, y'all. We got a little bit of that. We might do. And that's not for Tesla, even though we got some good news about Tesla. The biggest thing tonight, market is bull, extreme greed has hit the building. So make sure y'all stay tuned. We got some information. Of course, we got some trading with Ortiz. He got some stock picks. He might do a little gloating on us because he did. Hey, everything has been popping out for us. So make sure you stay tuned, man. Other than that, how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm good, man. Had a good time off. Did some work, like I said, that way I wouldn't, too anxious going back in this week. But yeah, man, caught up. Got some bad news about one of my teachers not being approved through HR. But hey,
yeah,
somebody else, what I'm saying. So,
yeah, man. Hey, look, you know how I go, man. Well, look, but these days, it's gonna be that might be a feat. What level? What level was it?
Kindergarten.
Yeah. Hey, with the kindergartens though, it's a kindergarten teacher out there right now, man, that cannot get picked up, man. And all she want to do is save the souls of the 5-year-olds, bro. She is out there, bro. So I think now, if you would have said third or fourth, you're on your own. But kinder, they love the babies, man. You might be in luck, man. That's all good, brother. Man, as far as on my end, man, it's been kind of smooth. Of course, like you say, no kids today. But for us, man, it's about to get revved up, bro. This is about to be the time. The honeymoon is now over. Yep. Y'all on the main campuses, y'all building them cases. Yep. So now y'all almost getting to that point where y'all got enough data to hit them with that percentage and send them. So look, man, now at first it was a lot of vapors. But as the time goes by, you get those behavior students in and you say, okay, let's rock it. Let's get ready to roll. You got to pull out all your tools. So today it was a lot of getting prepped for that. And safety. Safety is so big. So on the person over the badges, say, man, them badges is real, man. Hey, man. So, everything has been rolling, brother. But really, man, just having fun. Had a good break too. Had a chance to kind of do a few things. So, man, we out here, man. We back, brother.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Look, now, how did you do last week? I know it was a few call outs that we talked about. One being at Microsoft, but I want you to talk about these first. So now, what were some of the ones that you talked about with that trading with Ortiz that came to fruition throughout that week up until today?
I know that we talked about NVIDIA dipping and then taking off again. So
dip and rip.
We crossed. We're around 140 almost today. But Apple, I want to say that at some point today, 238, 239. I told whoever was listening that Apple was going to go. And I also said that if you had anything that you needed to get rid of for January, this could be the time, considering we were getting into that extreme greed. So as you go into the podcast tonight and you go through all that, you'll see exactly where we're at as far as the fear and greed index. You'll see what we're talking about. But as of right now, I think there's a little bit more upside before we get really into that extreme greed. And so one of the things that we also mentioned last week that, I hate to say it, but there was an opportunity for Tesla to go down, and it did. They did have their robo taxi update, and while the news was not bad at all, we have to remember that if you saw the chart, we were getting into that, overbought area, sitting at around what I think when I called it was 64, 63, 64. And so right as soon as that news hit last week, Tesla took a $22 hit, which is a little bit on the downside. I was able to get in at some point when it was down, and I wrote it up a few dollars. So I did do a 2-day swing on Tesla, just because I knew that down was an overreaction. And so I went ahead and got in. It was about a 2-week out call. I didn't want to play anything too close, because then sometimes your psychological mindset, you keep it, things happen, you can't sell it. You're at work, and then you just keep it because you're thinking, but I knew that, if I would have kept it, I would have sold it the next day anyway. So, I did that because I knew with the, almost a month out expiration that I could afford to keep it overnight. So I kept it for 2 days. It went up for me. I made 72%. So even though Tesla still got a ways to get back to where it was before the hit, if you get in and get out, like we've been talking about, there's always an opportunity somewhere.
Somewhere, man. Somewhere. It is a bull market somewhere. And so being able to look at that tonight as we look at that heat map, that'll be something good. I guess what we'll do, man, let's take a quick break. And then let's get into a little of this news, man. I got some crazy news tonight, but it's really nothing out of the ordinary. Let's go.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the
news. Hold up, wait a minute, y'all know. Let me take off the background so we can really dig into this thing. So in today's news, this ain't nothing but telling y'all what the boop is going on in this thing. Stock market today, the Dow, S&P 500 clinch fresh highs as who?
NVIDIA.
New record, man. We still going to. We're gonna change this to that. Man, wait a minute. We need something for the man. I don't know. I'm gonna find something for this NVIDIA. I'm telling you, we gotta get something, man. Let me get my sounds together, man. We're gonna shake this back. Hold up, man. That's the sense. I don't know about that. We're gonna come back. All right, so let's get into this news, y'all. Hold on, I done turned off all the sounds now, bro. U.S. stocks rose Monday with two major indexes clinching record closes as NVIDIA led the risk-on rally in the market that permeated through most sectors and even into cryptocurrencies. When I tell you I have been buying Coinbase and I was like $1,200 down, I just kept buying. Today I'm at break even. And so a lot of them shares I bought like 160 and now we're at 190. So I'm excited. Let's run it. All right, the S&P moved up nearly 8% to close at a fresh record after ending above 5,800 for the first time on Friday. I was looking at some literature as I was getting ready for the podcast. I want to say we are at our 64th all-time high for this year. So like Jose just said, we do look like we could have more upside, and so we'll kind of look at some of the levels or those pieces of data that confluence to kind of give us that picture. So top tech stocks, we know, and even when we look, we'll see why we say we just getting started. Tech stocks led today's gain. with NVIDIA rising nearly 3% to close above 138 per share. Other semiconductor stocks also surges with the ASML and the ARM Holdings and Applied Materials. My God. As the rally broadened, even the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin was up more than 5% in the past 24 hours to touch above 65.7 per coin. To everybody who's seen that thing at $1,000. To everybody who's seen it at $1,000, man. God bless y'all, man. I was like, God. All right, man. So, Jose, we got the stock rally going. NVIDIA once again leading the charge. We don't know where this thing could go. Last time we did this, it ended up in $1,000 a share. What you thinking about this rally, man?
2 words: be careful. So, I mean, it's everything is great, everything is good. You know, there's a lot of influencers out there that would tell us that this market could be bad news, but we are here. We are close to. I mean, we are at all-time highs. SPY. I mean, SPY 584. I mean, what can you? That's you know, pretty doggone good if you follow the market daily and you know what SPY is. But be very cautious. I don't know if this is a time you want to get in unless you're doing a very quick swing or day trade, because you know what goes up comes down. And I also say that we've been talking about different aspects of the market, and we've been talking about this fear and greed index. And like I pointed out last week, our Apple was down for a while. Our NVIDIA was down for a while the market was up. So pay close attention to that. Now that the market is still up, you know, Apple, NVIDIA, you know, Microsoft was down, and now look at them. That was a good call you made. I know you're going to get into that later. But, you know, hey, now your top Magnificent Seven, so to speak, are starting to inch their way back up. And so that's what leads me to believe that I think we have a little bit more room to go before we, you know, have a breakdown with the greed and the fear, and we start to decline. I'm a little, you know, like I said last week, I'm a little worried that it might interfere with any of the January calls that we might accept. But if the market continues to go up this week, you know, maybe you don't hold on to those January calls, you know. Hey, I sold one today. 1,000% profit from the time.
Look, I'm thinking about this Apple. Dude, I'm with you. So I'm going through tomorrow. I'm gonna go through tomorrow, kind of do a little survey. I'm in a lot of cash in my shares account. So I'm really trying to see how to maneuver that. But I did pick up a lot of Ulta today. So I'm waiting to see. It's testing right now. We'll see what's happening with that. But I do have a few plays up my sleeve. But yeah, man, big shouts out to that Microsoft, man. I seen it on the rest area. We caught it. It ran up to about 420. It came back down. And what do? We rinse and repeat. So right now I'm currently up a few hundred. And I got this one all the way up until June of 2025, man. So I'm gonna see what we're gonna do as it goes. I just keep setting my stop loss up $100, $100. And yeah, we'll see how we can hold that thing out, man. But other than that, that's our news, y'all. Stock market is in bull formation. It is pouring out. If you know how to double dutch, you could jump in and jump out. But if you don't, do not be the person holding the bag, right? And so what we'll do, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll get into our heat check, and then we'll explain a little bit more of why we say, don't you be that person holding the bag. Be right back.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and
Look, welcome back to the Administrators Podcast. I am KT, and this is
JoJo, baby. And you know
look,
what?
y'all, I told you.
I got to say one thing.
Yes, sir.
That heat check intro is a jam.
Hey, man, look, man, just slow grooving, man. But it lets you know that is the calm before the storm. Y'all, if y'all look at me crazy tonight, don't look at me crazy. But I told them, man, I want to get some double footage. So I brought out the medals tonight. I think the next time I go live, I might just go through the medals, man. You can go live through here, bro. I don't know how I'll make it connect, but I will figure it out next time, especially when we out. We're going live through the glasses. So let's roll it tonight on the heat check. Woo! Let's start with our S&P 500 heat map. And look at what we see. Look at what we see. Now, I know Jose said our 7 magnificent was getting ready to pop back up. But the first thing I want to talk about is before we get there, look at what's happening. They getting ready, y'all. Right? Very small. Oh, I banged out that Adobe today. Very small increments. Didn't say it though. Lost it. Google. Meta. Look, right now Meta been on a tear, so it's time for her to cool off. But look over here, Amazon, right? And we know this is Amazon. What we doing, right? We know it's crazy. As long as Walmart can get, Costco can get, then we know Amazon is going to get this. But right now, we just taking our time. But still, looking where our chips are running. AMD had a little scary pullback, but they've been going. So that makes perfect sense, right? Intel, look at that Intel, man. Remember when Intel had dropped all the way to like 17?
Yep.
Bro, what if you would have bought 1,000 of them, bro? You up 5K right now. Dang it, bro. Man, look at this here. TXN. So semiconductors running. Applied materials, dude. I had that when it was 155, dude. Wow, bro. Hey, man, just looking at all these, but some of our big heat makers are still, man, remember this thing when it was 140, 150, man. Oh my God, JP, Visa, when Visa had dropped like crazy, that big drop right there. Man, come on, man. What you thinking about this heat map, Jose?
I'm thinking it's setting up for a little bit of a run because you're not bright green right now in some of your heavy hitters. Just remember what we been talking about. It's, like Kendrick said, wash, rinse, repeat, because same ones over and over and over. Your NVIDIA's hitting. It was green today. Think about, your Meta not being so much. Microsoft was up last week. Look at it, not as green today. Tesla recovered a little bit last week, not as green today. But that not so green, that darker green, does give me hope that it's going to pop relatively soon before we go to red. Now, of course, I like I said, it's not going to sustain. You're not gonna go up. Let me rephrase. We don't know exactly what happens in the market, but I do believe that at some point between now and end of year, we do dip before there's another buying opportunity. I think we might dip around election time just because we're not sure. There's chatter that it's too close of a race right now. I don't know. I'm trying not to, get into that much because I want to see what the stock market does, because I know that either way that election is going to affect it. So I'm trying to concentrate more on technicals to see exactly just how. But I do think we're setting up for a greedy October, which would set up, I'm going to say this right now, a red beginning of November. So,
election time.
Just remember,
all right.
But if I'm wrong, it's going to be through the roof. If I'm wrong, it's going to be. We might see SPY 600.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna do a little dip. Hey, I think it could get a little rough in between. All right, so now what we'll do, let's jump over to our Fear and Greed Index. Woo! Like we told y'all, we are officially in extreme greed. Last week we were at a 69. Previous close, which was Friday, was a 74. 1 month ago, we were neutral. 1 month ago, this is how fast lives can change right here, right? 1 month ago, we had people who were back over here. They had just came out of here, investing, putting their money where it was going to go, making a decision. And then what happened? Those people were rewarded. And it is just that simple, people, on how I can go. 1 year ago, though, he was over here. It was looking pretty crazy, right? So I don't know if we are just behind schedule, but like you say, we got a big year. We can look at a little bit more of our timeline, just look at some of our dips. So April was pretty rough on us. Then we took another dip around August where we hit extreme fear. And then what happened? We worked our way out of it. Here we go back again to fear. And now we are working our way out of it. So I'm looking at over here is kind of where I'm saying, is this where we close it out, right? 83, December 19th. But look at this. This is pretty much the highest peak we got, man, in the last few years right here. And so right now I'm looking for us to get close to this 83. And then we got to make decisions at that point, man. I think by the time we get over here, what's this, 80? So by the time we get over here, we got to make some decisions. We got some data coming out. We got a few things that's happening this week, but we're gonna see what's happening here. Because it wouldn't be bad to go back down, drop over here where we just had this drop September 5th, where we got down to 54. But that thing is gone now, man. That thing is gone, man. We 58. But we can always come back down to that 100 at 54 at any given time, man. Anything to add on that one, Jose?
We're just getting close. So
yeah.
You guys just keep that in mind. Definitely getting close.
Like I told y'all. Buy, hold, sell. Man, you better get out of there. Take profits, set that stop loss very close. Keep that stop loss tight, because right now we never know when the big boy is going to say, all right, we ran it up on them. Let's go. All right. So we'll look at the charts and you'll see a little bit more. But when you think of reasons why we could keep going, for me, this is one of the biggest reasons. Look at that VIX, y'all. Look at the VIX. So let's go over here. We're looking at the 1-day chart. Right here. VIX today, what was it? Well, we can go back over here. Man, what is that? What is that, like, what, 2030? 2090? I'm sorry, about 2090. Then as the day goes, what's happening? The stock market is going up. Volatility is going down. What does that tell me? People not afraid to throw that money out there. They saying, let's get paid. I don't know any other way to put that. NASDAQ plus 159. Russell plus 4. Man, you know I've been trading IWM, man. About 20 contracts Friday. But that side note, it was quick to happen. It was good. Look, we are approaching somewhere where we may be here for a short time, but if you do it right, you can get the bag, right? So the biggest thing is make sure you stay locked, play this back, do whatever you got to do, but get locked in to the information. All right, man, anything to add before we move on to that thing?
Nah, man, just make sure you stay safe.
Hey, that's it. If we don't say nothing else, man. All right, I think that will do it for the heat check. What we will do is we will go back for one more quick break. Plugging in at KTTV.com. If you have not, make sure you get to KTTV.com. We got merch, we got shirts, we got these. All right. Look, let's take a quick break. When we get back, Trading with Ortiz.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when
Hey, welcome back to the Administrators Podcast. This is KT and my co-host
JoJo Trading with
Hey,
Ortiz.
look, man. Look, we are here at the time. Man, it's better than brought you the NVIDIA calls, better than told you get on these apples, man. I'm ready to see what do we have tonight, man, for Trading with Ortiz. What jewels are you gonna drop us tonight?
All right, I'm going to recap, and then I'm going to show you one. You briefly mentioned it, but I think it's time that I talk about it because, you know, I've owned it. I bought some more. So let me share this screen. Make sure that it shares. All right. Can y'all see the screen? Can y'all see that?
Yes,
so, a week ago, last week, we were in here. Just want to say, if you got in, you know, we took a little dip, but look where we're at today. So we're talking about from 221 to 231. Oh, come on, y'all.
$10 move, man. That's life changing, man.
Oh my God. And we had 3 days to trade it where we didn't have to work.
Yeah, man. That's life changing, man.
So keep in mind what I was talking about. So we're sitting at a 65. We got about 5 more points to get up before we get to that 70 area. We do have a little bit of a gap on the MACD before the 20 and the 26 day cross. 12 and 26. So we do got some room. So can it run a little bit? Yes, it can. If I want to say that we might be able to get up to this 233 area, 234. To see if we can get to this double top up here. So there's Apple. Just want to say, you know, be careful if you got in relatively soon because it could, you know, there's a potential that it's going to come down. Our first breakdown area is going to be around 229 and then 227 before we break down to 224 and 221 again. So I don't think it'll lose every bit of that gain that it just made. But, you know, just be careful if you are getting into it right now. So the other one, real quick, that we talked about last week, we are at a 68 relative strength index for NVIDIA. If you got in around the time we talked about it, you see that we definitely went from 127 to our max of 140, and now we're sitting at around 137. Again, another $10 move from just last Monday. So guys, it's you know, if you didn't get in, I do anticipate it's going to break down. We might break down to about 135 here. If you can see that on the chart, 135 is our first low point before we get down to about 132. They are converging on the MACD, the 12 and 26, so you can definitely start to anticipate some type of down. If you see the RSI is also trending down, so let's be careful getting in right here. I don't recommend getting in just yet. And then, of course, the one that I wanted to talk about before I get into my pick, Tesla. So here we go, Tesla. There we go.
Hey,
see that drop that we had, you know, last week was that drop. And so on the 7-day, it was bad. But look at our RSI, y'all. 28. What does that mean? That means we are oversold.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Tesla, y'all. we got a little bit of down maybe to go here before they converge. And when they converge, I anticipate them to go up like it did right around here. So that's definitely what I think is going to happen. Guys, you know, I think it's almost time to buy some Tesla. So,
and I want to I want to, while we going through that real quick, I want to share because this is, I think, a good time to talk about that Tesla. So today I picked up my first 5 contracts of TSLL. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna share this real quick. Let me see.
Or do I need to stop?
Yeah, hold on. Just keep it right there. No, you ain't got to stop sharing. I'm gonna switch out and I'm gonna share this one real quick, and then we're gonna come back to it. But I just want to. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so people, we have we got TSLL, right? And so this is Tesla bull shares, and this is a 2 times, right? So this moves twice as fast, but it's way, way cheaper, right? And so when I seen that it was $9 today, because the last time this was $9, I bought a bunch of contracts and I rolled it up to 12. So right now we got 952. Right now I just wanted to kind of start doing that position again. And so when I'm adding into a position, I know for like next year, I'm gonna put that first 25%, second 25%, and then 50. So right now, I think I want to build it out to at least the first leg is 25 shares. 25 contracts. So I did 5. I'm gonna kind of see where do we do tomorrow, because we are at a pivotal point. And then I'll probably do about another 5 or 10, and then I'm gonna kind of wait because we got some data coming out this week, right? And so I'll see what happened with that data. If the data drops, then I'll go ahead and put some more in. But what I want to show you is Tesla. He said it could be time to get some Tesla. If you look at Tesla, it is $219 a share. I know we work, people, so we got to figure out how can we make this thing move. But if you go back and look, not on the 5 minute, let's go back and look at the day chart. If you go back and look at this day chart over here, back in July, this was $16. So what I'm saying is, you get you 100 of these, you're gonna make some money. 952 TSLL. All right, man. Let me get back to this. Let me stop sharing. I just wanted to catch it while it was cheap and people could understand what's happening. Yes, sir.
All right. So here is my pick. There it is.
Woo!
JP Morgan Chase. Now, one of the reasons why I like JP Morgan Chase is because I like saying the name. Don't know why.
Yep.
JP Morgan Chase. I never say JPM. I have no idea why I always say JP Morgan Chase, the full name. I want to show y'all something on this chart, though. I completely understand that we are to 63 right now and close to being overbought, and we are diverging. The gap is a little bit wider, so that means we could go down a little bit. But I also want to show you that it went up. You know, we took a ride from 211 to around 223. And if you are familiar with charting, and if you've seen charts before, then you see at the end here that looks like a bull flag. So
hey,
we got the flag pole right here, and then we have consolidation with pullback, and then with a little bit more pullback. So we should see a little bit more pullback here before we are off to the races. And if it plays out, we anticipate these two lines to cross probably right around this area, 219, 220-ish. And then I do anticipate that we could see some some JP Morgan.
Oh,
We're talking about Penny.
that one dated himself. What day did this sell
What was that, JC Penny? I do
Man.
think that we could, get to where we were at some all-time highs over here in the 230s, 225s for this JP Morgan Chase. So, we've been talking about those interest rates. We've been talking about this market. We've been talking about the election. If we continue where we can see some light at the end of the tunnel with inflation, all these homes that they're talking about, man, we could see some really, really good spikes in, JP Morgan Chase. Now, that doesn't mean that every every bank, will run. You have to look at it case by case. Chase actually released earnings last week, and they were fantastic. And so I held 6 contracts going into earnings that expired at the end of year. On that pop, I sold 3 of them. Still got 3 left that are in the green that expire in January. And I went ahead on the dip. I've taken I started some new positions in June calls. So there's my
dip and rip, baby. Hey,
right.
so that's it, man. So you say for tonight, JP Morgan Chase to the upside.
Yeah,
is what I'm hearing.
Give us some time to get it. Got to get $2-3. Be patient. Have your money ready.
Yeah. Come on in that thing.
We're gonna see what happens next week when we come back.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, because we got some data. Like I said, we got the jobless claims this week. We got a few numbers that could kind of tell us what our future will hold, especially for interest rate cuts, because we still got Fed meeting this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they said they may do a modest cut, so we may get a 25. They may not cut at all. We'll see. We will see. All right, man. I think that'll do it for trading with Ortiz. If you can get locked in on that JP Morgan Chase, what we'll do, let's take a quick break, and then we will get into a little bit of the charts, because I got 2 things up my sleeve that will bless your game. We'll be right back. Oh no, that's wrong. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Administrators Podcast. Hey, man, I'm about to go back to the heat check, man. I'm going backwards tonight. Look, y'all, 38 minutes, so we're doing good on time. I want to kind of go through, let's see. Let's go back over to TradingView, and I want to kind of show y'all where I just put a nice chunk of change. Not looking for a big return, but I'm looking to capitalize on what is happening in the stock market. So what did I do? I bought a bunch of SCHD. Jose, did you see that price right there? $28.69. So what happened? Last week, this was $84 a share. What they did was a 3-to-1 stock split. And they also said with their stock split, they are raising their dividend payment. So now what we know is the stock split does not affect the company in a sense that it changes any of the fundamentals. The company is still worth the same amount, but they do have more shares, right? So the more shares is the gift and the curse. On one hand, right now, we just put 3 times more shares out to the atmosphere. So will this run as fast, or we see many aggressive moves as we have been seeing? Maybe we don't, right? But at the same time, we know that when stock splits happen, they run 10% more than the market their next year. Why? Because on one side, once again, we got so many shares, we got diluted, but at the same time, it is accessible to more people. You can do a lot more with $28 a share than you can do with $84 a share. And so what I want to do tonight was just kind of get into a little bit of the technicals to see why you should be putting your money in SCHD. And so one of the first reasons that I said we should be doing into SCHD is because of the dividend focus, right? So this ETF invests in high quality companies with the strong track record for paying dividends. The consistent dividend payouts really can be that reliable income stream. Each year I go to Colorado and I pay for this trip through dividends and through points. That's the only way I pay for this trip. It never comes out of my pocket. And so this is all from getting dividends. And so let's look at a few of the companies that is inside of SCHD. And so when we look at this company and what it's made out of, Charles Schwab, 62 billion assets under management. The dividend is 3.42%. Remember what we said. Where can you put your money on God's green earth? And each year you're going to pull 3.42% of the money that's inside of that fund, right? So just looking at all those pieces, it's been here since 2011. Equity class. All right, so now this is what we're looking at. I want to get down here. What's in the fund? So one big thing about this is if you are a technology investor, let's say you got a big portfolio on a lot of this is your QQQs, your Magnificent Sevens, then having this already, in a sense, diversifies your portfolio, right? Because for them only, man, I can't really. So you think about it, you don't see a lot of tech here, right? Like 12% is electric technology, right? But the rest of it, finance is 18. Jose just talked about the banks, right? We got health tech, we got consumer non-durables, we got energy, we got retail, transportation. So it's so many other pieces that helps you diversify your portfolio when you stack this up against a lot of those tech stocks, right? So look at our top 10 holdings. And remember what we talked about, not only are these diversifying your portfolio, but these are also high dividend yield paying companies, right? So you think about Home Depot, we got BlackRock, we got Cisco, we got Chevron, Lockheed Martin, Bristol Myers, Verizon. We know Verizon is going to pay on that dividend. My God. Pfizer, we got Texas Instruments, and we got Amgen. So these are the top 10 holdings of this ETF. And so then let's go over here and look. So what quarterly, right? Remember, so quarterly every 4 months, 25 cents per share is what they're giving you, right? And so they just paid that out 9:30. So September 30th, people just got the bag about 2 weeks ago. So just think about it. You get 1,000 of these. How much is that every quarter, man? $250?
Yep. Wow.
$250 four times a year. That's an extra $1,000 that you added to your salary by simply just holding on to this, right? And we already know that with the stock split, they will go up. So I don't know what the projected will be coming in at. But if we know this is what we're doing, so if you can look at the dividend, they started at 19, 21, 24, 20, 27, and now 25. And so I'm thinking they may go back up to 27. But they did say they will go up on the dividend as well, right? So just looking at those assets. Now let's kind of go look at the technicals. What do they say? Strong buy, right? 1 week, we strong buy. So I'm just gonna run it right there, right? So what they say a month, we just say buy. But look, let's not get into that. Let's talk about what we got going in front of us right now, because what's happening is we don't care really what they say coming from here because we know that we're getting this for a very good price. Right now, we're going to say $28. And we know that as the market goes, as things continue to run, we're going up. And the thing is, will there be some downturns in this ETF? Yes. What do? You buy more because we know the cycle, but we want to get in down here at the 28. So strong buy. Over here, oscillators say buy, moving averages says a buy. We got everything says buy, right? Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about, Jose. Right now, for our RSI, we are currently at a 66. What you think about that?
Got a little bit of room to go before we're overbought. I mean, overbought. So,
so need to start watching that. Get ready.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got MACD is 0.68.
Yep. So we're getting a little bit closer to the reversal. So, right now it's a buy. So if we go too far out, you want to think about that. So that's
why we get to just a buy right here.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how we get to our buy and our neutral.
Think about 1 day, 1 week at a strong buy.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at it. So where, you go to that 1 month, you're looking at a buy instead of a strong buy. Because look at that 1 week. Take a look at that 1 week again. That 1 day strong buy. And then that 1 week was a strong buy.
Yeah. And MACD still and momentum say buy. But month down here, momentum says sell. MACD still say give me some. Yep. All right. And so then we come over here, just looking at kind of what our moving averages tell us for predictions. So that's pretty much it. So then these are, man, this trading view beast over here, man. So this trading view is telling us kind of what would our pivots be according to the Fibonacci. Just good numbers. All right. So let's go back and look a little bit more. Let's keep going. Coming back up here. Yeah, so man, we talked about the dividend, 3.42% per year. So you just think about that $1,000 every year. That's gonna get you $342 for just sitting at $1,000 right there. Right. So just thinking about how you're getting these returns on the money over time, right? By just investing. And so that is one that I wanted to kind of put on everybody's radar. Remember what we say, don't take our word, do your research. But we just got through looking at the technicals. And so this could be a good time to get in. You think about a month from now. So what you want to do, remember, don't oversize your position at the beginning, right? We understand what's happening. We understand that 10% more could grow over this year because historical says stocks that split do 10% better. I look at Walmart when it did its split, it was like $60 or $70. Right now, Walmart is $80, right? They have, and they just did their split a little while ago. So you just think about that still within that first year of the split. All right, so that just put it on your radar. Remember when we sizing into those positions, 25, 25, and then let's say it gets down to one of these pivot points. Let's say we get down to the 24, you see a hole. We get down to the 20, you see a hole. Bam, that's when I want to make sure that I'm locking in more. For me, on my personal, every 2 weeks, I put something into this account. And so I think going forward, since I'm really invested at this price, what I'll do is start to just transferring that money automatically over to the SCHD and then just keep that thing rolling and we'll take it from there. Man, anything else on that one before I close that one out?
No, man, I might have to give me some of that.
Hey, look, man, I'm just trying to tell you, man, we got to stay ahead of the game here, baby. It's real, man. All right. Our next one that I have, and I thought about this one, man, because I'm still doing the research on it myself, but I felt like it was too good to hide from everybody, man. Do you know anything about this Celsius Holdings?
I've heard a little bit about it, but I'm not too much into it, man. Talk to us.
So
is that a biotech?
Man, this is a beverage, man. I remember when we was doing.
the
When
drink.
we was doing the rodeo, they was passing out free bottles of this.
That's right.
But it says consumer non-durables, beverages non-alcoholic, right? So we look at Celsius at one point, and this was in May of this year, May 23rd, 2024. Celsius was $97. What a fall from grace. But trouble don't last always. And so if we can look, since then, they have, in a sense, found a bottom. And this is the daily chart, right? Let's go back to, so for me, whenever I start doing, this is literally platform programming, y'all. We rocking it. So for me, what I'm going back and look, and I'm looking at my monthly chart, right? So I see that we had a hell of a fall from grace, but it came down to the decision line, right? So for me, what I do is I got 3 important lines right here in a row. If it's above this line right here, I'm looking at a buy. I'm saying it got potential. It's not breaking the VWAP. If it goes below this red line, I'm saying, okay, let's see what's next. I still wouldn't too much act because I want to see how it's going to react to this line. I see that it broke this line. Now I'm going in for a short sale. So now I'm going to go in, I'm going to short it, and I'm hoping that we're going to come down to this line, and I'm going to get ready to sell. So right here is when I would have sold, as soon as I seen that little push back up, because I said, this could be support or it could fall through. I've seen this now on the monthly to be support. This is the second month that Celsius will be riding the 60 EMA. So that tells me I could be on to something right here, right? So how do we look at it? We say monthly. Now, this tells me, even with this coming down, this right here tells me that this is going back up. You got me? Because this started at the top and it's going its way down, but some said, no. Remember them old school wrestlers, man, how they'll be thinking it's over. They'll just throw that one hand up, baby. You know, I'm still here. So this is what we got right here, man. So what it told me was to go back in. Hold on, let me get back over to this Celsius. Let's keep going down, right? So I want to start in my month. I'm going to come in my week. Now what I'm looking at to see is everything matching. So we just looked at the monthly. The monthly is going up, right? I come over to my weekly. What's happening? My weekly is still going up, right? I come over here now. I say, okay, let me come to my 1-day chart. Now look at my daily. I'm still over here talking that talk. I had a good support off of my 60. We still riding at 60. But I see I got some overhead resistance above, right? So what I'm saying is, if this can break 35.32, the high of last Friday, we may can be able to just talk that talk. And even if it ain't nothing but sitting on top of this line and working our way up to this 38 before we have to make a decision on whether we get rejected or not. And so that's what I'm looking at. If I come over here to my 4-hour, once again, we sitting on this 60 EMA and we making a decision, right? So we bounced off of the VWAP. We bounced off the VWAP, but once again, we got this. But what the market has already told me is I want to be right here. I may not get there the next day, but this is where I want to go next. So all we doing is we waiting until the market say, okay, I'm ready. And once they get on top of this line, and this line now becomes support, I'm going to get me some money, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all what it is. I'm going to give me some money. Right here, we are on the 200 EMA on the 1 hour. We just bounced off the 200. Look at where we at, where we closed at on the top of the VWAP line. So once again, we got some big decisions going on right here. But if we can get there, when you think about the risk to reward, if we could time this right and we can get something, oh my God, look at where we got the potential to get, y'all. Now, will it be a straight line? No, it will not. But I'm seeing a lot of support that's been coming in for this Celsius, right? Because I feel like when we hit right here, this was our bottom. Look how many times we played around on this line before we started coming up. And so if you ever seen like when they picking somebody up with the little ladder, this is what happened. Boom. They picked them up with the ladder. They carried them on up. And then what happened? We got this big old gap up right here. So, hey, man, we could be back on. We could be on to something with this Celsius, man. What you thinking about?
Man, I'm thinking about everything you just said, man.
Hey.
Chart, man. That 38 looking good to get to that 38.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, man. That's how, look, that's all we need, man. Give me good $3, man, with a bunch of contracts, and we will make it happen. So that was the technicals for that. That was our platform probing. Make sure you go check out that Celsius. Make sure you start looking into that SCHD. If it ain't nothing but buying one share when you get paid, that's $25, $30. Let them add up, keep going, right? Think about a $3,000 investment. Maybe a few years from now, you're looking at $100,000, right? Because you compounding, you reinvesting your dividends, getting your drip going, and you steady adding every paycheck. So let the game start now when it's $28. See what happens 12 months from now. Where will you be buying just a few shares every paycheck? I think that's it for me, man. That's it in the platform probing, man. We 56 minutes, bro. I think about, before we get out of here, bro, I think about everybody who started with us, bro. And everybody who, man, we have those things. Well, yeah, man, it got this person and this person. Bro, I don't know too many left, man. I think it's just us, bro. I don't know, man. Anybody that you could think of that's still here trying this thing, man?
What about Coach?
Man, nah, man. Coach sold everything, man. Yeah, man. I'm talking to Coach. That boy's like, hey, man, it's time. No, Coach, it's too late, bro. I've been trying to tell Coach, man. Coach didn't believe in the power, man. Coach could have been balling right now. He would have held that stuff, bro. That was years ago. Hey, man, nah, bro. I think it's just us, man. Just trying this thing out, man. Hey, man, but the risk is worth the reward, baby.
Oh, it is.
All right. I think that will do it for us tonight. I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody who will come in and check this on the replay. I'll make sure to get them clips out. Man, we really just been freestyling, man. God forbid we start doing some promo for this thing. Ain't no telling where we can get this going, bro. But really, man, I enjoy the conversation. It also helps me slow down and kind of look at the market, look at the plays I want to do for myself. We really didn't get a chance to go into some more of the resources because I want to kind of show y'all a few plays that really make sense. I know we got 2 minutes. Hold on, let me see if I can do one, man. So I'm in this Discord, and the Discord is not pulled up, y'all. I'm gonna just hold tight. But one of the calls was a VIX call, right? And so you always think about those things when they do them call outs, people rushing to them. But that made so much sense, right? If we had all-time highs, and I'm looking at a VIX call, and somebody said this should play out in 1 to 2 days, I'm not going against the trend, but kind of almost believe you with so much data coming out and Fed meeting coming out this week. But it's earnings season. We never know what can happen, man. Closing thoughts before we get out of here, Jose?
You know, continue to be careful with the market being up so much. Pick your entries, but watch out for those profits too while you're there. You know, you gotta take your profits, man. That's one of the hardest things that I've had to learn to do. So sometimes you get caught up in that greed, and next thing you know,
dun, dun, dun. Hey, y'all, we about to get out of here, man. This is KT for KTTV signing out, and
JoJo, baby.
Hey, 100.
This is Darnell with Broadcast Houston.
This is Dr. Tamara Beckford.
Hey, this is Candace.
This is London Underwood.
This is Kirsten Bass with Inner City Greens, and you're watching.
Y'all are now tuned in to
KTTV.
KTTV.
KTT.